Tom did my introduction for me when we started the service. I was asking God what I should speak about, and I want to speak on speaking in tongues. I thought that'd be good fun to do. But then God said, have you looked at the news recently? And I went, well, sometimes, because I don't tend to watch the news. He said, have a look at the news. How do you think the world's feeling? And Tom said that at the beginning. How is the world feeling? It's down. Every time they read the news, they get a bad report. Well, how do we be positive in a negative world? Because you know what makes you beautiful to other people? When you're positive, when your light's shining. When you're the one in the room that says, I know there's that happening, but what about this? So what I want to do is start off the way I want to carry on. I want you to speak to the person next to you, and if you're going to have to do two, okay? I want you to speak to somebody and tell them something you are grateful for this week. What are you grateful for this week? Or today, what are you grateful for right now?
What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for breakfast today. Grateful we're alive.
Yeah, grateful for
Did you feel that change then?
Yeah.
There's an actual change in the room because you're all talking positively. You're never all telling everyone what you're grateful for. Now, if we become the people that when we walk in a room, you should walk in a room, people should say, oh no, you're going to tell me something good again, aren't you?
Yeah.
That should be us. We walk in and they're all going, and we go, hey, have you seen how blue the sea is today? We need to cheer people up. It's our job. We need to tell them the good news. So I've got 12 ways to be more positive. So control that negative news in your life. Control the number of negative people in your life. Listen to music, meditate, live consciously. Practice gratitude, pray, view, read, listen and positive things, give hugs, disconnect, laugh, connect with animals. And I'm going to tell you why that's all good. Because I've got evidence. I've got evidence that God's designed things to do us good. Mm-hmm. That all the things he asks us to do help us and make us better. They make us healthier. So the first one, control the amount of negative news in your life. If you watch the news 24 hours a day, I can guarantee you will be depressed. And occasionally, at the end of about 45 minutes of, oh, they're dead, they're dying, they're going to die, what do you get? Oh, and on the end we've got a good news story. This duck survived. we want more good news than that. So if you carry on watching negative stuff, guess what? You'll get depressed. Yeah. Stop watching it. Yeah, it's good to be informed, but we don't have to get all the gory details. Because it's not the end state anyway. We know what happens in the end. Yeah, Twitter. Yeah, don't do it. As up to the BBC News, 9 out of 10 stories were negative. In fact, the only positive read was Commonwealth Games. Somebody want to go? Great. There's a Russian news agency I found out. Now they said, what we're going to do is, this whole day, we're only broadcasting good news. They lost 2/3 of their audience. People didn't want good news. And you know, there's a saying in Fleet Street, if it bleeds, it leads. What they mean is, if there's got to be death and destruction, otherwise it's not going in the news. So why watch it? Watch something that'll build you up. And we can choose what we're going to look at, what window we'll look out of. Do you want to look out a window that says, I'm okay and you're okay, and we're going to make a difference? Or do you want to look out a window that maybe says, you're not okay? Trouble with that is everyone you meet is thinking, you're not okay, you're not okay, you're not okay. You just get depressed again. Or, worse still, I'm not okay. Oh, I'm not very good, I'm not very good at things. No, change your mind. You're brilliant at stuff. Yeah. All of you has amazing talents. There's a whole set of sheets over here that I'm going to talk about all the way through. One is why speak in tongues. One is Joyce May's Who You Are in Christ. If you want to know who you are, read the book. Don't look at the news. Read the book. There's another one over there, 75 blessings that you're blessed with. So all of those, there's 6 sheets, just pick up at the end, take them away with you. Control the negative people in your life. Now, if that's your partner, that might be more difficult. Cheer them up if it's your partner. but generally, some people are just downers. Now, if they're people you know well enough to speak to honestly and openly, do them a favour. Tell them that they've been negative. My mum, she's 80 odd now. About 4 years ago, I was sat at the table and everything she said was negative. And in the end, I had enough. I just said, Mum, do you know every single word that comes out of your mouth is negative? And she went, and about a week later, she phoned me up and she said, you're right. I am stopping that right now. Now, if they're good enough friends, you can speak to them about that. Let them go away and think about it. Because they're making themselves ill. So be a friend to them. Now, if you don't know them that well, maybe just let the relationship go. Because why do you want people in your life that are putting you down all the time? And I know we're supposed to be with people and supposed to be helping people. Well, let's change the feeling between us. Not accept all of that negativity. So look at the people that you're with. We need to practice good conversations. And what I want you to think about is, what 6 topics could I talk about at any point in time that would cheer people up and help people? You see, I've got grandkids, I've got kids, I've got my wife, I'm blessed, I've got, my business is going okay, I love teaching, I've been blessed with a camper van. There's loads of stuff I can talk to people about that's positive. I can tell about rebuilding a wreck in France and nearly killing myself, but being looked after, and I'm still here. I want you to think about what 6 things could I talk about, because if you don't have those 6 in your back pocket, when the negative talk starts, you'll just join in. Because negative talk is easier than positive. I think the news has programmed us to talk negative. Well, let's deprogram and reprogram.
Amen.
Let's talk positive to the world. Start tracking. Listen to music. And it doesn't have to be Christian music, by the way. There's some really good secular music out there. But I was joking with my son the other day. He had 2 songs on, I think. They're both like someone left someone, and he tells me they weren't, but I thought they were. So listen to positive stuff. I'm not really country. Now, I don't do country music. Probably because everyone seems to die in that as well. But find music that you like. Could be praise music. My daughter-in-law was telling me she put some music on and started dancing the other day, and it just changed her whole being. And yes, you can dance, especially if you're on your own and you're a bit shy. Just go and dance, put some music on, have a great time. But let the music speak to you. Find out what's inside you, just let some love out. Get back in a good place. And meditate. Now, meditate, it isn't about sitting on hilltops and going, oh, and I can't even get into the position I'm supposed to for that, so that's not going to happen. Meditate just means to think deeply about something. And the trouble is, for our society now, the deepest we think usually is about 15 seconds. And then we change topic and go somewhere else. So that's another thing we need to change. You have to practice it. You have to practice focusing on something. How do you do that? Well, a picture, a song, some people like to chant something, but find some way of concentrating. And then what you find is all of this information comes out of you. You suddenly start getting revelation about stuff. And you suddenly think, oh, I didn't realise that. But you did know. You knew on the inside. Or your spirit knew. But you won't know that unless you quiet the world and think about one thing in particular. So give yourself time. More than we had 4 kids under 5. I was not going to do a lot of meditating at that point. In fact, that's why the books were in the loo, because that's the only place you could get peace and quiet. But find somewhere that you can be on your own and just thinking about something deeply. And live consciously. What do I mean by that? Well, we drift through life. How many times do you get to the end of a day and think, I don't know what happened today? Well, live consciously. Notice the butterflies. Notice the ladybirds. Do you know, till, I think it's 9 years ago, 9 years ago, physicists were still saying bees couldn't fly. It wasn't possible. They only just worked out how they did it. That they actually create lift on the downbeat and the upbeat of their wings. Is that fascinating? But nobody knew. So look around you, observe things. This, the bridge at the bottom is the bridge at Le Havre. Now, the first time I crossed that, I just had my mouth open. In fact, my son, Chris, was with me at the time. Unfortunately, we just got off the ferry and he fell asleep. So I'm shaking him. Look at the bridge, Chris, look at the bridge. I'm sleeping. Live consciously. Actually think and look around you. Take time to notice the flowers in the garden. Notice the people around you. Actually take life in. Be in the moment. Some people say this is mindfulness. Be in the moment. There's a wonderful story about an 84-year-old lady in America, and she went to college aged 84. And at the beginning of the course, they said, talk to somebody. So this young lad turned round and he started talking to the 84-year-old. And he said, why are you here? And she said, I've always wanted to do it. Why shouldn't I? And she became the star of the whole thing. She was the most wonderful person. She was a hero to all the people because she was open and honest. They got to do the end of the speech at the end. And she was trying to do the speech. And just a lovely lady, she had 4 cards she was doing the speech with. And she dropped the cards. And she dropped them. She just looked round everyone and said, I really should stick to the beer because that whiskey's killing me. And she delivered the speech, she graduated, and she died peacefully a week later.
Wow.
Wow. Live in the moment. Enjoy now, because you're not getting it back. Now is the only time we have. Let's be there. And this one, practice gratitude. It's another one of living in the moment, really. Be grateful for people around you, for wonderful people that bring us coffee, that sorted this room out, for Rick, I'm sorry I don't know your name, but for sorting this bit out, for the music that we've had, for the film we've got going on. Be grateful. For teacher, I wonder how many people have gone to a teacher's evening, walked in and looked at the teacher and said, thank you so much for teaching my kids over here. We don't do it, do we? We go in there like, go on then, do your job, tell me what my kid's doing. You're still going. we just get in and out. The cleaners that keep things clean for us. Let's be grateful. Let's be grateful every day for what people are doing around us. Even if it's just smiling at us. Deb was driving to Lincoln a while ago, and she stopped at these traffic lights, and she said she just looked sideways, and there was this older gentleman in the car, and he just looked over at her, he smiled, he went, good morning. She said he made a day. Just because he smiled and said good morning. Let's be those people. Let's be grateful for everything we've got. And pray. Pray. It says pray without ceasing. What does that mean? It means chatting. Well, why is that so important? It's not to get things. It's because it reminds us that we do have a Heavenly Father. There is a God that's in charge and that designed all this. There is a God that made everything. There is a God that can find you vans if you need a van. He can find you a house to live in if you need a house. He can find you a job. There is a God. He can find you a parking space as well, by the way, which is even more fun. I like to name the parking space now. When I'm driving in, because I just say, Father, can you give me a parking space? Well, there's going to be one. So now I say, can it be third one in from the left? Have fun! Pray. And pray in tongues. Because when you pray in tongues, you get all sorts of benefits. So pray in tongues. It bypasses your brain, which is usually a good thing for most of us. There's some very famous quotes that say, the only thing wrong with us is between our ears. And the only thing stopping you achieving everything you've achieved is between your ears.
Exactly.
So get your brain out of the way and just be thankful, grateful, and pray. Pray to be, just take time. And it doesn't have to be meditation, it doesn't have to be quiet. You can pray at work, you can pray in the car, you can pray any way you like. Just enjoy a chat. That's what he's there for. You wouldn't walk into your own father. I mean, I couldn't imagine Chris walking in and sitting down at the dinner table and saying to me, good morning, Father. Thank you for this meal you have prepared. and may it be a blessing to me and to my body. He's not going to say that, is he? He's just going to say, cheers, Dad. He's just going to say that. That's our Heavenly Father. He's a father, not some demigod living on a planet, on another planet. He's your dad. Read positive books. and listen to positive things. Watch positive films. We had a friend, she watched horror movies morning, noon and night. She was Christian, but she watched horror movies morning, noon and night. And she came to me after a few years and she said, I'm really depressed. I said, what is it? She said, I can't sleep at night.
Get away.
There's a phrase, know something Sherlock. I'm not going to use it because we're on video. But, you know, if you watch bad stuff all the time, you're going to be like bad stuff. Watch stuff that cheers you up. Watch inspirational people. This girl here, amazing girl, no arms. She's a black belt at judo. She's just got a pilot's license.
No.
Yeah, you've got a name written down. But do something amazing. Watch inspirational people. Don't let yourself get trapped by I can't. And the more inspirational people you watch and the more positive stuff you do, the more positive you'll get. And then the more you'll achieve. So it's just building all the time on being positive. Not letting the negativity of this world get to us. And I like this one, because I'm a hugger. Give hugs! Now, some of what I've done is based on the work of a doctor in America, and if you ever see this, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but he said he likes to hug his patients. And he said it makes a big difference. They've actually done a study that when people give you a hug, it actually, your immune system starts to improve.
Wow.
It's that tactile behaviour, that touching. We actually need to give hugs. Now, some of you might not be huggers, okay, I can accept that. But you can hug with words as well as physically. So you can just give a kind word to somebody. I'm just so pleased you're here. I'm so pleased that I can say hello to you today. I'm really pleased that we can have a coffee together. That's hugging still. You're just speaking positively into their lives. But be a hugger. The hugging, this is the research. Hugging releases oxytocin, that then trickles the down effects through the body, causing a decrease in heart rate and a drop in stress, hormones, cortisol, and norepinephrine, or something like that. Anyway, there's research. Hugs are good for you. Do hugs. And the next one, disconnect. We are in this society now. When I call a tea break when I'm teaching, nobody moves.
No.
They just get the phones out. If you go to a school now, you'll just see at break time. There's no one talking. They're all just on the phones, watching the phones. And I'm as bad, I've got to say, if Deb was here, she would tell you, put that computer away, because if my computer's out, I'm researching something, I'm checking something. And she said, what are you doing now? Oh, I was just just closing it, dear. Disconnect. Get off the internet, get off your phone, and start being real people again. Because we need that time. You see, the internet and all this is great. It's fantastic tools. But if you had the old-style tool cupboard with a hammer and a spanner, you don't use the hammer and the spanner all the time. You only use them when you need them. So why do we get hooked on technology? Disconnect. We were in Wales recently in our van, and there was no signal. I thought I was going to die. I got palpitations and everything. It lasted a couple of hours and I recovered. You know, after I got used to the idea I could not get online, it was wonderful. I couldn't answer the phone, couldn't put my laptop on, couldn't answer business emails. We went for walks with the dogs, we went in the wood. It was absolutely terrific. So just do it. Disconnect. And my favourite, laugh. Because I don't know if you've seen this clip of these babies.
I've seen it, yeah.
If you haven't seen that, you need to watch it. I dare you, I challenge you not to be in fits of laughter at the end of watching that clip. And it's on YouTube, so they just start giggling. It's great. In a way, only kids can, really. Years ago, there was a man called Norman Cousins, and they said he was dying. And he said, well, I'm going out with a giggle then. So he went and bought himself a projector and loads of black and white comedy films, and they gave him a 6 months live, I think it was. He lasted 26 years. Just laughing, didn't he? Next thing he went and laughed. He had a great time. See, laughter. Do laughter. There's Dr. Lee Berg of Loma University Medical Center, California. He's done studies on this, and he has proved that laughter stimulates your immune system. Well, the Bible knew that a while ago, didn't it? Laughter is good medicine. Proverbs 17:22. We know that. But science has now proved what we already knew. Laugh. Find you all laugh at different things. Me and my wife, it's never going to be the same thing. I'll be roaring with laughter and she'll look at me like, have you lost it? And then she'll start laughing at something. That's just not funny. It doesn't matter. Find what's funny to you and have a good old laugh. Give yourself time to laugh. If you find it difficult, make space. Give yourself an hour a day to go laugh. Make yourself better. And finally, I connect with animals. You see, the study says, if you connect, this was particularly dogs, improve heart health, keeps you fit and active, helps you lose weight, improves your social life, reduces stress, adds meaning and purpose, staves off depression, prevents grandkids' allergies, that was an interesting study, reduces doctor's visits and battles disease and injury. Wow. They've actually done studies with animals. People with animals live healthier. They are less stressed. Most of the time with our dogs, that is, we're less stressed. Sometimes we're more stressed when Ben decides to run off and not come back again. But generally, you're less stressed. They do say, though, that dogs have owners and cats have slaves. So, you see, you can say to a dog, come here, and the dog will come if you trained it, and then you stroke it. You say that to a cat, and the cat will look at you and go, I don't know, I'll think about it. But animals, God put them on the planet for a reason. And one of those reasons is we actually like to be around them. Now, some of us would say they're tasty to eat too, and some wouldn't, and that's fine. But animals, they're good for us. My dogs are really... Oh, that's going on video. My wife will see this now. I'll have to admit to liking the dogs. If I've had a bit of a tough time teaching in the day, during the day, and I come back, and the dogs will jump up next to me, they seem to know. And then I just stroke the dogs, and the tension just like goes. So connect. Go in the countryside and just look at the amazing things God created in the countryside. And that'll just perk you up. So all of these things, if you want to live positively in a negative world, control the amount of negative news in your life, control the number of negative people in your life, listen to music, meditate, live consciously, be in the moment, practice gratitude, pray, view, read and listen to positive stuff and make that choice. It's a decision. Give hugs. I'm going to give Tom a hug at the end, just to come hug him. I think I hugged just most people when you walked in, actually, but if I missed you, I'll get you then. So give hugs, disconnect, get out the rat race and disconnect, and just spend time having coffee with people. Just phone somebody for the sake of it. Laugh. And connect with animals. And you can have the life that you really want on the inside. Thank you.
Amen. Good word.